Hey, gents.
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Oh, hotel room. Somebody. Hey, Sam. Looking good in your stable DAO shirt. I like it.
Thank you.
That's a handsome guy. I don't know about the hat, Garrett. I mean, I'm just saying, Oh, no, you're not wearing a hat today.
No.
Wow. Cool.
So we're just waiting on Ralph, yes?
Tris is looking very sporty. Supporting his team. You're on mute. Still on mute.
I've been on lots of exercise today. Feeling fit and ready to go.
We got a lot of work to do. Being fit and ready to go is probably a good thing. Doctor?
Hello. Hi, everyone. Blessings.
So are you
Where's
still
the Malaysians do?
Are you
The
still in?
Malaysians do this. They got that and that for the guys in Atlanta.
So, Sam, you were asking a question.
Yes. It looks like the same apartment. Are you still in London?
Yeah, this is in Leuven, Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my last day, because I was going to take the flight today, but I would have missed the Zoom call. So I made the flight for tomorrow. So I will not be on the plane. Okay.
That's very kind of you.
So how's the weather in Belgium?
Oh, quite normally a bit before raining, but now it's ordinary. It's nice, crisp and cool. Not so cold, but crisp and cool. And from here you can see, from here you cannot see our container. Yeah, the other day I sent a video of our container. It's somewhere down there. Okay. Big day today.
Oh, yeah. Got some good numbers in here tonight, too. Almost pushing all-time high.
Yeah, I think it's thereabouts.
We're waiting for Ralph. Let's just give him a couple more minutes. He's just...
Yeah, he said he had a problem with the connection, yeah.
Yeah, that happens when you go from one Wi-Fi to another. So Tris, I believe a bit of a holiday for someone who's got a UK background, right? November.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when I was a boy, we lived by Common in London, and we used to make a guy out of straw, and then we would light it and put a little receptacle in front of it and say "penny for a guy." It shows you how old I am. When a penny was a lot of money, and we used to collect pennies, for the guy. So if you did a good guy, you get more pennies. So good memories, yeah. And I remember that kind of burning smell, and yeah, a great tradition. Very, very crisp and cool in London this time of year. Normally quite dry in the late autumn, early winter. It's really nice, actually. Very nice.
So you used to play coins from the childhood. You were in the token business from childhood.
Yeah, it was an early form of tokens. Guy tokens, actually. We should remember this. Maybe one day we should do the Guy token.
Well, my understanding is that it's still the biggest firework day in the UK, and Blackheath is, I think, the biggest one in the UK, just South London. They have a huge fireworks display. So the fireworks will be shooting off all night. Actually, usually they start off a couple days before, and you're sitting in Belgravia or in Notting Hill, and they'll be off in the distance for a couple days before and a couple days after. Quite nice.
Always an excuse to let off fireworks at this time of year. My father, one year, I think on my 4th or 5th birthday, I think it was probably my 4th, decided that he'd put all the fireworks into the bonfire.
Oh, that's always a clever idea.
Yeah, so the rockets were going through the front, through the windows in the front room, and general mayhem. But anyway, I guess that was my father. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great idea.
Absolutely. 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 It's the other thing is don't put bullets in the fire either. But
yeah, not a good idea.
These are all things that you learn as you get older.
We were lucky
to live that long.
To have bullets lying around.
We had a family story about my maternal grandfather, who was a scientist that also had a sense of humor. And one year, rather than wanting to take the Christmas tree out, he decided it would be entertaining to see what would happen if he shoved it up the chimney. Of course, by that time, it was very dry, very combustible, and full of sap, and nearly blew the top of the chimney off. To his great delight and my grandmother's frustration. Dan, did you have any fireworks or Christmas experiences involving explosives and other things that come to mind?
Well, having ethnically been Chinese, we did play around with our fair share of fireworks in Beijing.
Nice.
There, however, is a very strict ban on fireworks where I grew up in Australia.
For fire reasons, presumably.
Yeah, it was something that I enjoy a little bit more than I should, because it's always something you look more forward to when you've experienced the biggest, baddest, and most awesome fireworks in China, only for it all to be taken away from you in Australia. So,
actually, the most powerful fireworks are in Macau. Why? Because a small island and 1 million population. So it is 10 days, 24 hours fireworks, day and night, no sleep for anyone. Yeah,
I did not know that.
I missed that. That's
minimum of it continues uninterrupted is 5 days. After the god of wealth has left, then maybe they quiet a bit.
God likes a firework, I guess.
Yeah, in the Chinese New Year, go stay in Macau 1 year.
Yeah. So
Ralphie,
all gets launched around
there he goes
beat,
again.
so that's amazing.
Ralph is here. Let's start, huh?
Excellent. I think we're just missing him turning on his camera, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure that'll happen very shortly. Thank you, everyone, for attending yet another Boardroom Zoom. It's been a great achievement over the last couple months since our event. in Crown Plaza, Dubai, for us to go from a standing start to now over 400,000 registrations. First, starting with the good news, the 4 days we took to close off registration allowed our team to complete all the KYC. So that's over.
Wow. Well done, Sam.
KYCs completed. So it's no small feat. We really appreciate the team that have stayed up tirelessly day and night in order to get all these processed. I understand that, you know, some of you guys are, of course, still putting in resubmissions of failed KYCs, and that's just because you know, the name didn't match the ID, or you know, the picture, or etc. So that of course will still continue. But for everybody who has submitted KYC that is you know, complete and meets our criteria, we have processed them, and of course have credited the amount of early participation program rewards, as long as these KYCs did come in from first submission before the first. So these are great numbers to go by. We're really excited to now move our community into the next phase, which is the EDP. That's what we will be focusing over the next 30 days to ensure that everybody's able to unlock and maximize their rewards, and of course participate in the vision of Seedify and stable DAO. So without further ado, I want to hand this over to Tris, who's going to just give us an update on generally where we stand with the opportunity from the real estate, and then hand over to Garrett to go into a deep dive of the EDP.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. So we're in a very strong position right now. We have copious signed documents between our first investors, which is Negeri Sarimban. It's a 1,362 acre site. It has the ability to become a hub for many different kinds of manufacturing and other support businesses linked to aerospace. Some very big partners. We have Turkish Aerospace, with a Duggan signing a contract with the Malaysian Prime Minister, so at the very highest level. We have a division of a state-run business, Temasek, in Singapore. We have Bombardier, which is a very big name in aircraft manufacturing in Canada, all worked on by Yun. I don't know if you've seen all of the webcasts that we've done, but we had Yun on maybe 4 or 5, was it 3 days back? I think we've been doing it every 3 days. And so Nick and I have been rather tirelessly working, tirelessly working with all our partners here to make sure that it's ready and good to go. And maybe I could ask Nick to say a bit more about that.
With pleasure. I mean, we're very fortunate in that the government decided to take a stance on creating a technology valley about 5 years ago. And they have addressed this by sequestering land, putting in the resources and the commitments both from government sponsorship and their own time and money into securing MOUs and deploying contracts for purchases. So in some cases, what they're doing is they're going to manufacturers and saying, we, the state, will buy equipment from you, but in order for us to do that, you have to manufacture or assemble in this technology valley. And that's been able, that's allowed them to coerce these companies that you've mentioned into providing commitments to lease land on the property that we are purchasing. So it's quite an exciting opportunity. These are long leases, typically 25 years. We are expecting to be able to set up an SPV for each lease, then capitalize the lease so that we can create a physical plant for them, and then lease them the full physical plant with the land over a 25-year period and amortize that over a 15-year period. So it has the benefits of creating long-term value and long-term income streams through a partnership with the government, where the government would spend this money anyways. They would have to buy this equipment anyway, but in this case, they are helping themselves by creating a technology valley. And what we're hoping is that this technology valley is, as far as I'm very cleverly pointed out, will at some point be the sort of the hub for avionics in the Southeast Asia region, so that it can be a solution for the other aviation hub, which is basically tapped out. They don't have any more capacity, and where we're building, there's both land and the appropriate parties coming together to create an integrated solution for servicing aviation planes and helicopters and whatnot. Sam.
I think Tris is on mute.
Yeah.
Back to you,
I was
Tris.
only going to say, are we going to you, Sam, now? No, we're going to Garrett next, I understand. So
Yeah.
we'll move on to Garrett.
Garrett, because he has some numbers and figures that I think the community is excited to hear, because you know, as much as we want to expose everyone to the great opportunity, the opportunity is only made possible for us to bring to you guys through the great community building that everybody has been doing as a collective. So Garrett, over to you, man.
Awesome. Thanks for the cash over. So yeah, basically we're pretty excited. I know the team has been working very hard to get the EDP, or what we call the Early Depositors program, which gives the Stable DAO community a huge opportunity to basically for every $100 deposit, we basically it generates what we call stable points, and you can basically cash these stable points in for money. So we are going live. I believe I just got a message right now stating that deposits will be live in the next 5 or 6 minutes. So that's pretty exciting. We have also reopened registrations. As Sam stated before, all of the pending KYCs have been taken care of. And we're really excited just to get those out of the way. It was a lot of work to get them done, and as Sam stated, the team worked, tirelessly day and night to get those processed. So now that the registrations have opened, it looks like we've actually got between 30 and 50 registrations in the last 10 minutes, which is pretty exciting. And these are not because of the EPP. These are new registrations for people that are excited for the EDP. So basically, I'm going to do just a quick breakdown of the EDP. Basically, like I stated already, for every $100 deposit, you generate SP, which are stable points. This is for you and your sponsors. So basically, when you deposit $100, you get rewarded 1 SP. 1 SP is equal to 1 USDT. So basically, it's a 1-to-1 value. and you basically get these for depositing $100. There are no minimum or maximum limit for withdrawing stable points. And basically, there are 5 key points that I'd like to go over. For every deposit of $100, it generates, like I said, SP for participants and their sponsor. So for example, if participant A deposits $100 and gets 10 SP, his sponsor receives 5 SP. So basically a 50% reward for getting people to join and deposit money themselves. So it's pretty exciting. It gives a huge opportunity, like I said, to build wealth and to change not only your lives, but your loved ones and people that you care about around you. So it's pretty exciting because that's basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to change people's lives. And the next point is, like I said, 1 SP equals 1 USDT. 1 SP is valued at 1 USDT. So it's a 1-to-1. Basically, you can generate and claim unlimited stable points with you and your network. You can instantly withdraw SP directly to your USDT wallet 24/7 with 1 click. So we make it very, very easy for you guys to complete the process and withdraw your SP so you can accumulate faster. And like I said before, there is no maximum or minimum limit for withdrawing stable points. So basically, you can do it when you want and however much you want with no limits. Basically, this is a really exciting opportunity. We also give you the opportunity to multiply your rewards. So basically, you are rewarding yourself with 1.5 times the amount of USD value on withdrawal of 500 or more SP. And then you can also reward yourself with 2x of USD value on withdrawing 1,000 SP or more. So it basically gives you more earning opportunities and also helps push forward what we're trying to do with the Stable DAO platform. There are a few conditions that are involved with the stable points and the EDP. The first condition is there is a flat $2 fee for each withdrawal. And that is basically what we have set up with how you guys are going to be taking out your money through the platform after the EDP is also done, but after depositing and accumulating your returns on your investment. The second condition is EDP enables you 50% of stable points distribution on infinite levels. So this is pretty exciting in its own because it gives a lot more opportunity to the system and for you guys to basically create more value for yourselves. The third condition is stable points can be withdrawn anytime 24/7 without any limitations, like I stated. And the last one is stable points can be earned only if participants deposit a minimum of $100. We need to stress that. So if you deposit, let's say $99, you are not going to generate any stable points. If you only deposit $199 without meeting that $200 mark, you will only be getting the 1 stable point for that $100 that you put in. So you need to be able to get to that $200 mark. So just make sure that you guys are getting that full $100 in for each of those stable points, or you're very harshly limiting yourself, and you don't want to get into that situation. So we are basically going live today, November 5th, and the EDP will basically run for the next 30 days. At the end of that, basically, you're not getting the same perks. So we want to encourage people to sign up now and get things going. Back to you, Sam.
Great. Thanks, Garrett. So I believe that this is a great opportunity and a great program. This is 10 years that we're planning to run Fund 1. And of course, with the capital guarantee as well as the real assets that we are deploying the capital into, it gives a certain level of transparency and comfort to of course, the opportunity at hand. And Nick was explaining to me something about transparency. I really feel that this should be part of the corporate structure and culture as well. So I will not do this justice if I explained it. So Nick, can you just talk for a couple minutes on this? You're on mute.
So sorry. Yes, with pleasure. There's a growing academic pool of studies on transparency and how transparency works within organizations, and I'm sure Dr. Kamadabali will be able to school me on this very complex but interesting area. In my own experience, I find that it's best worked when you have transparency, consensus management, and alignment. So you want to have systems that align people's interests mechanically, usually through some sort of financial reward, tied in with a consensus approach to seeking as many as the regulators in North America and Europe say, as many eyes as possible. So if you have 5 or 6 people, you want all those people putting all of their eyes on each problem. It's not to say that you want to have a consensus where everybody agrees with one person who's the leader, or Tris had some very interesting descriptions for what consensus is not. I think it had something to do with a male body part and swinging it around. But there is a desire to use consensus management to extrapolate the best elements of each element of the pooled intellect to address problems, issues, hurdles, objectives. And that really works when you have transparency. So there's a very famous investor who's done quite well. He set up a firm called Bridgewater, which is a hedge fund. And he has put out reams of data on what he calls radical transparency. And part of his rationale behind this is the idea that if you are honest with both yourself and your colleagues, you are more quick to identify problems, issues, and objectives, and you don't run into this problem that you have in a lot of politicized environments where, oh, I can't say anything about this person because, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings, or actually they're such a jerk, I don't really want to help them, right? If you have radical transparency, hopefully you have the opportunity to be able to make a criticism, not a criticism that is intended to hurt, but something that is a critical analysis, right? The idea that I can provide an analysis. So if somebody does something badly, it's not to say that they're bad. It's to say you did this badly. This is why it was. This is what of what you did was bad. And so, poor Sam had to endure a short mission statement from my overly analytical thought processes around how we might consider our collective objective, our pooled intellect, and the need to use transparency to give each of us an equal standing in helping the community move forward. And it really is about the community, making sure that as a group within the DAO and the broader community, we are providing an ability for people to understand what's going on, because frankly, when people don't understand, they get upset, they get confused, they get despondent, they get angry. If you understand completely, then, well, you typically are able to adjust and adapt to what's going on. You're able to address problems as they arise, and use the best talents within the team. And that's very much what I'm hoping we as a group will do for the community, and hopefully the community will do for us. Is that, Sam, hopefully that's what you wanted. And Farzam, I'm sure you have some strong views on this. So I'm I'm looking to co-opt you.
Sure. So no, we basically enhance what you said. The whole point is that there is an ecosystem when you do a complex structure partnerships that has an outside group that becomes insiders. That's the community. And the community has the leaders, have the members, and have also by word of trust and mouth, will be many more joining. It becomes a movement. So why that becomes a movement, what I call a vortex. There is a center of gravity. There is an attraction. There is something that pulls them in. And what is that? It is the founding members, their different values. First, the sense of trust. And the trust brings unity. Unity doesn't mean that there are differentiations not there. There are many differentiations of methodology, objectives, aims, and system that they are used to. But through what you call collective consultation, we reach a mutual understanding that is called consensus, if the mutual understanding is complete. If the first, it is to do with motives of each individual member. If our motives are not pure, it will show. If the motives are pure, it will show also. Once the motives are pure, any misunderstanding or trouble can be addressed, can be solved. And in this situation is an ecosystem of an enterprise. We are doing it entrepreneurial. We are not here for a one-off chance, a hit and run. We are in for the long term. We are all committed. We all care about our own performance correctly, so that there will be no, no breakdown of the system. Seamlessness of the system comes from the motive of the founding members and whoever is involved in the management and operations, and it comes from their methodologies becoming synchronized. So I am very proud to see that this group is achieving this collective objective quite well. And it is okay if some of us are very precise and very harsh on certain procedural integrity or clear. Transparency is a matter of clearance. And it is good that it's spread across all the members. So sometimes for the sake of speed, you may put on hold certain processes. And that is not cutting around the corners you want to achieve. But if the procedures follows it, then there is no problem. Once we have a faith and trust that every of the members are doing it correctly and are doing it for the right motive, and they are looking for the collective result, and they are looking for the long-term repeat of the result of success, then everything becomes very solid, healthy, and long-term. And yes, there might be any issues. For example, the first goal is the success of the project. Project is the engine of growth. The monies that we are doing, all the hard work, all the community, all the little monies aggregated or even larger tickets, they join, they are in, go through the process. It's like a factory, and then come out with stronger financial returns. So the first objective is, are every member, 5, 7, 10, whoever is in the management, are they focused on the financial return of the monies collected through the engine of the project? Yes, I see that everybody is focused on that. Are there any blocks for the money to collect and go into the project? No, there are not blocks. There are procedural steps. And if the steps have no risk, then there is no block. Yeah, it takes time to set it in order. And I saw how from moving fast and we are setting these processes in order. That one, it is good to talk about it, because that shows at least this group genuinely with high intention of goodwill are promoting projects, raising monies, thinking of the processes that money goes to the project, that the project is successful and the money is returned. It's not very easy to go through all these processes and ensure a very good return and solid return. We are doing it genuinely. I see Sam is doing genuinely, you are doing it genuinely, and so is Therese, and also Garrett, everyone in the system. And in fact, some of the people who are not visible in our system, who are doing the day-to-day work, Ralph just had joined us, but all of our high management and also all of our operational system, they are doing it. Do they have a cost for doing that? Yes. Will they have to charge a cost from the monies raised reasonably? Yes. But I know we have talked about that these will be on a reasonable level. Why? Because we want the end result of the money go to the project and give the returns. Is there a precedent for such system? Yes, we have a fund management system of 220. Okay, so there is always a management operational cost. Will that cost be a priority of our consideration? No, the priority is project and the return that will be generated from project. So anyone who has advanced monies into our system is patiently waiting, whether it's the investor or the one who invested in the event program, in the process program. Obviously there are costs. There are running of any engine has fuel burning. So those burn rates are part of the ecosystem if they are not exaggerated. If not, all of a sudden, large money comes and anyone wants to take a larger share of it early. No. The good thing is that in our community, in our management, we have worked it out. I believe in the motive of everyone. I am not in the place and the shoes of others. I am not Chris and I'm not Sam, and Sam is not whoever is in the back system. But the point is that we have reasonable faith to begin with, that we started this. We want to do this very correctly. We want to show to the whole world that there is a group of very top professionals that have come together. They are doing things correctly. They are communicating and consulting. None of them is over what we call it greedy, and that they are doing it for the common cause first, then legitimate returns of all. It's all matter of what I call the correct priorities. So that means that a balanced expectation and correct priorities. With that, the priority of the return on investment becomes number one. Then the benefit of investors becomes number two. Then the benefit of those who invested and advanced monies will have to come as a priority, but not in one shot, in stages. Sure. And then the others who contributed, they have to have their operational cost return. Then will be profits, which is divided between the investor community and the management. So the good thing about a very successful, those who hit a home run and will become large and raise large monies, and yet everybody is happy with them. This is what we want to be. And this is what we started to be. And it is very important to know that each individual has that motive independently. And that's why if we saw any not yet compliance or not the element being very ironed out clearly, we speak and we spoke. That is behind the scenes we are doing that. Now we are bringing it in our Zoom to say that we have done this, we have ironed out all the time, and it is very great unified team that I see. That is the prospect of what we call, this is an open fund. So yeah, the priorities who came in, they'll get advantage ahead. But after the month, will there be still chance to invest? Yes. But of course, the priorities will get higher returns. So will there be other projects coming into the funnel? Yes, by all means. And in fact, it is good for even within our own team, and I say it openly, to have a positive competition. Maybe Ralph wants to bring his own pet project, but the project is good and it has high returns. We will all consider and will make it a priority. I'm giving as an example. Maybe Nicholas, you have a great project. Fine. I rather your project take priority over my project, if that is a better project. So we are all, no, I'm saying that
as long as it makes money for the investors. Right?
Exactly.
And that's what me and Sam were hitting on, and what you're hitting on is we've been spending time talking about what that collective alignment is, so that we are all very clear in our own heads, and we, as you say, we've done this. We want to be certain that we are working collectively towards the goal, and the goal is to make money for the DAO. The DAO
and
is
the collective wisdom,
and
a collective wisdom that is a bit longer term, immediate results, but longer term for our returns. And therefore, will not have personal agenda as a priority. The whole problem of the world is like that. If you don't have your personal agenda as a priority, but the collective agenda as a priority, everything will come in order. And I'm very happy that I have partners here in this stable DAO who are themselves high wisdom, stable in their psychologies. That is the winning machine. And beyond that is our ability to bring in the right projects, manage any risk of the project, ensure, push for the higher returns of the project, and then by comparative advantage, our own cherry picking among the projects that we choose, that we are very happy that we have the better projects, everyone ready. Oh, by the way, from the investor community, if you have a stall project, by all means, suggest
it our way.
Yeah, exactly. We are a fund. We are a fund. We raise monies from whoever is legitimate, is KYC, and we do it through a legitimate process, but on DAO model. And we also want to have legitimate projects. Hey, anyone who gives us good project, we'll go after it. It is not Farzam's project or future trends that is priority. It so happens I have prepared over the years much larger, but I call tilted the ground, and I found the goodies, just like Pac-Man, our stable DAO is now going to come and devour these goodies. But the goodies are better prepared, no landmines. So we have done what I call risk management and higher returns. We have governments in place. We have private parties in place who have large monies. Whenever in the market, you have the market, the local partners, the government, the policies, and then the processes in order, you win. Now we have tons of these projects. We are very excited to make sure this machinery on the first few rounds works and is lubricated correctly. Once the machine gets going, hey, we are aiming at higher than any Elon Musk's or any Bezos's or any large Carlyle's or BlackRock, Blackstones. We are the new age. So we openly say that if our unity goes well and everyone understands the common vision, that's why I'm talking longer. Once that many lasers shooting to one goal, we will win big time. We will become a very innovative machinery of the combination hybrid between digital economy and also the classic economy, between government and not anti-government, not like some of those who are extremists, they want the government to be out. No, we are in favor of the government that is lean, that is managing, that from our own proceeds, once we come beyond a certain letter return to the investors from our own, we will put a lot of monies for the humanitarian. We all agreed we will be doing that. That's what we called it, embedded benevolence. So, but you don't put an embedded benevolence on a large scale now and to reduce from the money of the return. We are not about giveaways. We are not about to give to humanitarian causes that is lost and dissipated. We are after regenerative economy, regenerative humanitarian, where all the receivers of any benefit, they become excited and they become productive force. So they will become the future machine of the economy. So I believe that, today we did not prepare to again, one of the beauty of our Zooms is that zero rehearsal. We all come in with only clear minds. And then we have had, of course, discussions about the whole process of how the business will be run. And we come here without preparation and we talk. It is very good because this is another sign of transparency. Because these are recorded. They will remain 10 years down the road. How did this group create the magic? Okay, the proof is in the pudding. As we discussed, I didn't know today you are talking about transparency, that there were deep discussions with Sam about, hey, do like some procedural things.
You got to understand, Sam's suffering. I dumped on him.
No, he's not suffering.
This is my academic mind. I've spent so many years using private equity funds, and if you don't get that balance right, if you don't get the transparency right, if you don't get the consensus right, if you don't get the alignment right, you can have the smartest guys in the room, but if somebody feels resentful or they don't feel like they're equally or they have an equal vote or they're getting equal information, you end up with a problem. If you can fix that, what you find is you get the Bridgewaters, the Goldman Sachs, the JP Morgans, Blackstone, BlackRock. Remember, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, those started off as partnerships. That was the merchant bank was a partnership. And that's what made those businesses successful, was you had a bunch of leaders with diverse skills and they stepped in. And I used to say, so I used to raise money for private equity funds. And my favorite joke was, you know why 4 Harvard, Yale, pick your university, 4 white Harvard, Yale guys always make the same mistake? Because they have the same background. But Farzam, you and I don't have the same background. Sam thinks I'm crazy. Tris is from a different world. Garrett's from a different world. Ralph's from a different world. So when we come together, we see different things. And it's that incredible ability to have 6 or 7 sets of eyes on the same thing with disparate backgrounds.
Yes. And that is called unity in diversity. We don't want unity to be, unanimous Unitarian. We can reach to unanimous, which is called consensus, after consultation. We can have differentiations of opinions but the end result must converge into one direction. And for that matter, it creates...
And that's about alignment. We got to make sure that we're all aligned, going the same way. And we are.
But it takes great capacity souls. But the luck is that all of the people in this group are of that. So Sam might push very much forward, which is good for us. Without him, we would not have moved so fast. But then he also is on board to do the procedures correctly in a classic way. So the point is that there is no division between us. It is only consultation and bringing. And I'm glad that we are bringing it even open, because the more we openly discuss it, hey, there is no secret to the outside world. Oh, these groups, they have their differences, they think differently, and they converge, and now they ironed out, and now they are doing something outstanding. Oh, the more confidence goes out. And that's why I call this becomes a vortex where everybody, they will go and tell their friends, come on, guys, there is some new phenomena here. Let's join and understand. So this is how we call it, no need for advertisement, word of mouth. That's how it goes, because there is a core that is very positive, that is very serious, genuine, professional, and able, and works out the differences for the strength. This is the machinery that we are creating. Please, Sam, I think if you are talking, there was the sound was not clear. Yeah, please.
No, I wasn't talking. I was.
You're bored hearing me prattle on about alignment.
This is very important, because misalignment means we could all be forcing our energies, and not for the community. For the community and for the better outcome, but against our own growth and interests. So it is very important that I have been dumped on by Nick on the concept of a radical transparency and how we should bring best practices, especially best fund management practices in these classical funds, and bring it into this new innovative DAO-like structure. What I would like to highlight is that we've given out $16.5 million in rewards through the EEP. Mathematically proven. We, in addition to that, can also see all the deposits that are coming in to Stable DAO through the depositing address. This, I believe, the concept of radical transparency came with Bridgewater in 1993. Great. But that was, 30 years ago, right? Almost years ago. With blockchain, however, we're able to make radical transparency even more real time. So
automatic,
real time,
seamless
transparency and auditing. This is what's really exciting about Stable DAO, about what we're doing in the C2FI space, is because we are bringing this radical transparency into a real-time environment. And of course, everybody who is joining as part of a DAO can see, as their deposits hit alongside everyone else's, the amount of the war chest we have to deploy on behalf of everybody.
Excellent. That's what we want.
Yeah, which means everybody one of us is on board, aside from human factor, which has sometimes emotions, sometimes preferences, sometimes going beyond self. We are putting it in a mechanized, automated format, so that it is in the next round becomes very clear. Money comes collected, where it is, and from the wallet goes to the project. The project shows all the agreements are in line, and the project itself has no risk, and the cycle completed. The next cycle becomes faster, and becomes seamless, automatic. And that's the advantage of blockchain and DAO and all of those digital economic systems, computing systems, the better computing systems, and faster and much larger transactions in a spontaneous manner. So we will use that and add that to the classic business. So it is good that the practices, best practices acts from the higher end of the classic industry comes to us, and we as individuals adopt it. And then at the same time, we make it institutionalized, and we became it mechanical into our computing process system. So this is what exactly is happening in real time, in front of the investors' eyes, as we are now recording in front of a community. So very good. I'm very happy with this model.
Amazing, Dr. Kamabadi. That's it's great. The consensus is so strong, and as we keep working together, we're learning more about each other. We have our different views, but we move together step by step. I think that's very, very important. I'm so pleased to see that happening between all of us now. 16.5 million is a very large amount of money. And by the way, we just heard from the technical people that we're live as this moment with the new program. And Mr. Protoi in Bangladesh has been looking at it and checked it through and says EDP rocks. Which is
well,
great.
I mean, EDP is all about aligning our community with us, right? I mean, and so we're back to the idea of alignment and transparency and consensus, working towards working as a group to get to the group goal, right?
Yeah.
And that group goal is to provide a living interest and production of interest for the community through the stable DAO. That's what we're here for.
In fact, the reason why the governance as a whole phenomenon in the world has failed is exactly because of that lack of transparency and communication, where we are solving. So we are not only doing a business here, not doing only projects and finance. We are rehearsing the higher form of governance. That is, consult, iron out all the differences constantly, and for the better of the community and the investors. And if we gradually enhance that, this will become a form of governance. So that's exactly corporate governance in a higher form, or financial governance, or private-public partnership of investors to the projects. That these are exactly how the alliances are shaping to become balanced arrangement. There is a perfect order in the universe that if we understand and we replicate it in our initiatives, that will become the optimum. And when there is optimum, becomes a vortex. It attracts everybody else because people compare. Wow, such a thing, I didn't see it exist anywhere else. Oh, others are after their own gains. Oh, this one is, yes, there is business which is going to gain a lot of returns. Yes, they will become super rich. Yes, but we will become also. And the priority is us. So all of those elements, it's just matter of priority and order and who first. And there is an optimum law. So it seems, Sam, what he says, what Sri says, what you says, we all first care about the interest of the community and the investments. And they have started to come in all the way processes until the return is given to them. We have to be faithful to that first. And as we said, the rest will become automatic. So I'm very pleased that in our discussions today, the talk went this direction. It is something that everybody is happy with. I know Tris was very concerned also. And that's why Tris has brought you in to make sure that a lot of compliances are in. So it is all good. My feeling, the vote of confidence is there.
Yes, I feel it too.
I'm very pleased, and that's why we also have Ralph here, because he understands how to structure these things from a pension fund angle. It is, I think, important that we have everything structured for growth, because when in a scenario that we do very well and do help our community grow, and this community does grow to a point where we have tens of billions of dollars under management, it is important for us to ensure that we have the compliance culture and of course radical transparency in order to manage the communication and flows between the funds and the information across all parties. So, Ralph,
yeah, exactly, Sam. That what any institutional investors all around the world, and the pension guys, mostly they do not want things. They do want things just tidy and neat and nice and well done and well prepared. And there is compliance, and there is it's all about ethics and compliance and money laundering concerns and whatever. All this they find if you think you have just answered perfectly the last question of those guys, they just find another one to put you, and that has never put before. No one has ever put before. That's why they are structured. And I see Nick. He's hi Nick. I see Nick nodding, and Tris as well. They have for all their professional life been in touch with institutional investors as well as me, and maybe even some higher variety than I had as well. But that's it. You just have to do your homework, and you have to do the paperwork, and you have to prove and to show at any time if you're ready to prove that it's all bulletproof, and everything is nice and neat and perfectly done. And I have that's it, yeah. And please give me the chance to congratulate Nick and Chris, my older brother, to their great success they made in Malaysia. I was always I had to leave earlier. And my thoughts have always been with you. Do you believe me that? And my congratulations to this great success that you mean. Tris, you're still a wizard. Nick, you're a genius. And as I think it's we all adding to this team in our special ways, and that's I love it. I love to be part of this team. And maybe just one or two notions about my business here in windy and cold Western Europe. On Friday, I approached a life insurer in Frankfurt area, and they are running their own mutual funds. And I found a way to approach them, and we will get into detailed negotiations maybe in the next week or the week after. It sounds quite promising. They are interesting to learn more about what we are doing here, and they had to admit that they have never seen or heard of something like that before, which is always a good sign to get people making interested in what you have to bring. I just confirmed with a international network I'm still linked to have a brief presentation of what we're doing on the 15th and the 16th November, whilst they have their annual international meeting. So that's pretty fine as well. And maybe the last point, inflation here in Western Europe and within the EU area is creeping over 10% now. And there are many people who find this very creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And many people, well, like guys on the street and investment asset managers as well, they find now to whatever they striving for radical solutions and a real paradigm shift in what they are doing, and then to reallocate and rearrange their investment portfolios on the retail side as well, private people as well as the institutional ones. And I think so. This is the perfect ground where we can work on, and I do this business for 27 years now, and it has never been a mood and within the people before. They all, even people you wouldn't have imagined that they ever touch or get in contact with decentralized finance or with alternative investments or hybrid products as well. And they are learning right now all over the country. And there will be a very radical shift in their investment mentality. And the institutional It's in the institutions, the industry companies, and then the private sector as well. So this is groundbreaking here. What we see.
Yeah,
here.
great news, Ralph, because this is exactly what we were after: mega capital migration from the conservative classic into our hybrid system. So
this is actually my vision, to connect the traditional asset management, the institutional asset management, to the DeFi and CDFI universe. So that's my vision here on all that. And so the prerequisites that we find here couldn't even be better.
Right timing. It's a mega wave on the formation, and we are in the right time, right place, with the right surf and with the right team. So that's my feeling. So our positioning to capture of that mega wave of the classic monies, wanting a hybrid, wanting the transparencies in an automated manner, wanting the better system of better projects, and yet still safe. And this is faster movement, because the whole problem of, in order to be compliances and then compatibilities to be more correct, fair, legal, we have created a mess web around that becomes like it's actually curtailing the growth, and it's actually becoming no movement, rather than economy should be vital, viral, and then action, and then fast. And so it is what we are basically as a hybrid creating. We are faster in movement, and yet all the compliances and all the conformities are there. So that's how we will win. A machinery that moves faster, and yet it is safe. So
absolutely. I just want to add that what we are creating is something that allows us to take $1 million of retail money and move $1 billion of institutional money. And the reason why this is possible is because we have the right people sitting here with the right experience and background to create these kind of unique transactions that allow us to really create outsized profits and really take advantage of some unique deal flow that is usually only reserved for the governmental slash private enterprise with state-owned partnerships level. And now what we're able to do is have our foot in the door. So when we're able to take a very small amount of money and move billions, that's when we're able to really maximize our investors' returns. So I think I'll just hand this over, please, to Tris for our closing, because I am conscious of time. It is running up to the hour mark now. So Tris, a lot of people don't understand what happens on the 5th of November. So can you stop on something that is you know, a little bit of fun?
Yeah, of course. So when I was a boy, we used to live near a common in London, and we used to make these little straw guys with some of our old clothes, and we'd put them there in front of everybody with a little receptacle to receive money. And just to try not to tell you how old I just became a few days ago, but we used to collect a penny. We used to talk about a penny for a guy, which is, and we talk about inflation creeping. Well, a penny was quite a lot of money when I was young. And so we collect a penny for the guy, and we would chant, remember the 5th of November. So that's a funny thing. And I guess we just happen to be on that same momentous day today. And here we are launching something momentous as well, that we will remember this 5th of November as we go forward. Looking forward to seeing the results.
We certainly will.
Great. On that note, I really like to thank you everyone for joining our boardroom Zoom. I understand this has been a little bit longer than our usual, but it is very important that we highlight the end of the KYCing of our previous EPP batch and the beginning of our 30-day EDP program. So this is really exciting. We'd hope that you and your friends can be a part of this great program and join us in, of course, our deal flow and our opportunities that we are building up towards. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, board members, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, Sam.
Cheers, everybody.
Be well.
Good night. Good night. Best night to everyone.